Some of the most dangerous groups in the world don't just believe in an ideology. They run businesses. Illegal businesses worth millions, sometimes billions. Drug routes, smuggling networks, extortion rings. And in some cases, the people you think are enemies are actually working together. But why would a cartel ever cooperate with an extremist group? That's where this story begins. The hidden alliance, crime, terror, and the global underworld. We're taught to see the world in categories. Terrorists, criminals, militias, different enemies, different motivations. But in reality, those lines are starting to disappear. Because war is expensive. And belief alone doesn't pay for weapons. It doesn't fund operations. IT doesn't sustain power. So what happens when ideology runs out of money? It adapts. And sometimes, it becomes the very thing it once opposed. To understand this shift, you have to follow one thing. Money. Groups like FARC didn't just fight a war, they built an economy. Cocaine production became a funding engine. Meanwhile, ISIS turned oil fields into black market gold. Selling resources. Taxing civilians. Running extortion networks. This wasn't chaos, it was structure. It was strategy. And most importantly, it was sustainable. But making money is only half the story. Moving it is where things get complicated. You can't run a global criminal operation alone. You need routes, contacts, protection. This is where organized crime enters the picture. Cartels control smuggling pathways that stretch across continents. They know how to move goods without detection. And extremist groups, they need exactly that. So deals are made. Quietly, indirectly, sometimes through middlemen, sometimes face-to-face. No ideology, no loyalty, just mutual benefit. But these alliances come at a cost, and that cost changes everything. At first, the relationship is simple. One side provides access, the other provides control. But over time, those roles begin to merge. Groups that once fought for belief start protecting drug routes. Groups that once chased profit start using fear and violence like extremist organizations. The difference fades until you can't tell where one ends and the other begins. And when that line disappears, something far more dangerous takes its place. This is the rise of hybrid organizations. Not purely criminal, not purely ideological. Something in between. Groups like Hezbollah have been linked to both political influence and illicit financial networks. They operate on multiple levels at once. Legal, illegal, visible, hidden. And that makes them incredibly difficult to stop. Because traditional strategies don't work anymore. You can't just arrest them. You can't just fight them. They're embedded in systems. And the deeper you look, the more global this becomes. This isn't happening in one country. It's happening everywhere. Regions with weak governance, conflict zones, economic instability. These become breeding grounds. Because both crime and extremism thrive in the same conditions. Poverty, instability, lack of opportunity. And once these networks take root, they don't just survive. They expand. Which raises a disturbing question. What happens if this system keeps growing? If these connections continue to evolve, we may be looking at a future where crime funds extremism, extremism protects crime, a cycle that feeds itself. Stronger, smarter, harder to break. Not just organizations, but ecosystems, operating beyond borders, beyond control. The real danger isn't just the violence. It's the system behind it. Because as long as that system exists, the cycle continues. And the line between crime and extremism disappears completely. If you made it this far, you already see the bigger picture. Subscribe for more deep investigations like this. Because the next story is even deeper.